So you are thinking about moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and you are trying to figure out whether you should buy a house in Dallas or Fort Worth, Texas. Well, you're in the right place, because in today's video, I'm going to be letting you know everything about the vibes, the price of the house, and what you can get for your buck in both of these cities when buying a house in both of these cities. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. You don't want to miss it, and I'm going to get to it right now. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Dre the Realtor with Sukasa Realty. And listen, guys, if this is your first time watching the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, working, playing, eating, and chilling in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and the bell icon next to it to be the first to know when we upload a new video. And listen, guys, people contact me and my team each and every day when moving to the DFW Metroplex, and we absolutely love helping them. So if you're interested in moving or relocating to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, give us a call, shoot us a text, or simply send us an email. Whatever you got to do to get in contact with us, we got your back when moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So as I was saying earlier, Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas definitely have two different vibes, and they're like night and day. And it goes from the vibes, the entertainment, the club scene, everything. And the most important thing I'm probably wondering is, should I actually buy a house in either one of these cities? I'm going to tell you just a brief overview of what I got when I was vlogging these cities and my experience of what it's like living in both of these cities, as I already have. So we're going to start off with Fort Worth, Texas. I lived there about a year, and it was a really cool environment, honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fort Worth, Texas does have its bad areas, but for the most part, depending on what side of town you're on, Fort Worth feels like the lower level suburban living. So you still get the suburban living, but it also has the big city vibes. It is the second largest city in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. They call it Dallas-Fort Worth for a reason. So living in Fort Worth, you definitely get those cowtown, cowboy vibes. And I'm not saying that everybody that you run into is going to be wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats, but that is the culture of this city. One of the things I loved about Fort Worth, Texas is a few weeks ago they hosted a rodeo in town for 2 whole weeks, and you know, it was very inexpensive. Honestly, I didn't get a chance to go, but they had the rodeo and they also had like a little carnival outside, so definitely something fun for the kids. And that's something that I don't think you'll catch in Dallas. I may be wrong, but I don't think you'll catch in Dallas. Fort Worth has a very small downtown, but it's live. They have Sundance Square downtown. They also have the Water Garden, some really nice hotels downtown. I mean, it is a whole vibe there. So Cowtown feels. Even some of the hotels, they are decorated with the cowboy feel. So that is definitely a plus about Fort Worth, Texas. They really embrace the cowboy culture. So I know what you're probably thinking, I can't move to a city with a bunch of cowboys, but it's really not like that. One of the things I love about Fort Worth, Texas is the communities in Fort Worth, Texas. So you get ranch style homes, just depending on where you're, which area you're living in. But a lot of the houses in Fort Worth, Texas are going to be ranch style homes. But Fort Worth is steadily developing. They have a lot of new build communities, especially on the southwest part of Fort Worth, where they have new built master plan communities in those areas. So you get the regular ranch style homes, which is probably going to run you anywhere between $250,000 to $450,000. But some of these areas may not be, some of these houses may not be in the best areas, just to be completely real, just depending on what price range that you are looking in. But what I can say about living in Fort Worth is a lot of the areas within that $250,000, $350,000 price range is close to a Walmart, close to the mall. It's close to something that actually helps you get your bang for your buck. Not going to say that the streets are the best, but if you're looking in those master plan communities where they're building these new build communities, the streets are good. You get a little bit more space on the road. These master plan communities in Fort Worth, they have parks, they have pools, they have new shops that are being built all around these communities. They have elementary school. So it really just depends on what side of town that you're living on in the city of Fort Worth. I honestly feel that you get a lot more bang for your buck when living in Fort Worth, Texas, just because of the master plan communities and everything that Fort Worth has to offer. Now, you're probably thinking, why do you think you get more bang for your buck in Fort Worth versus Dallas? And I'm going to get to Dallas right now. So Dallas is the hub. Everybody is looking to move to Dallas. Everybody wants to be around Dallas, because when you think about Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you think about Dallas, the Dallas Mavs, the Dallas Cowboys. They don't have no Fort Worth team. So obviously Fort Worth is definitely a second thought when moving to Dallas, Texas. So the first thing you research when you move to Dallas is Dallas, Texas. Then you find out about Fort Worth, Plano, Frisco, Irving, all of those suburbs. So everybody wants to be in Dallas, Texas. Dallas has a big flashy green building, the Reunion Tower, a lot of rooftop bars, and that's something that Fort Worth doesn't have. They have a better club scene, the strip clubs, everything, you name it. But it does come with a price. They have the uptown living with everything that's pretty much downtown. They have the really nice tower skyscraper buildings. I mean, it's amazing living down there. I really love the Dallas skyline, but everything does come with the price. I think Dallas, me personally, after vlogging Dallas, it was definitely a hit or miss. So I vlogged $300,000 homes in Dallas, and I vlogged $400,000 homes in Dallas. It was definitely a hit or miss. So basically, when I vlog these areas, one thing that I noticed is that they didn't have a lot of new build communities or new construction communities. And the roads, a lot of these neighborhoods, they were pretty established, probably built in the 1990s, early 2000s, 1980s, and definitely some historic houses there as well. But when I went inside these houses, the square footage wasn't there for the price range. Literally in some of these neighborhoods, some of these neighborhoods were like literally in the hood, and I'm like, I'm spending almost $2,000 a month to almost $2,000, $3,000 a month just to stay in this neighborhood. Are you kidding me? You know, so I definitely, after seeing Fort Worth, I definitely felt kind of disconnected from Dallas. So this video is not meant to be about bias, but I just want to show you my honest opinion. So Dallas definitely has its benefits. You are able to be in a convenient environment. But when you're looking in the lower price range, such as the $300,000, $400,000 price range, I honestly don't feel like the bang for your buck is there. There's not that many master plan communities there. The streets are all jacked up. You probably have like a nice neighborhood here, but on the other side of the street, it's probably going to be a bad area or a sketchy neighborhood. Like literally, you'll see that everywhere. And sometimes they do have these new build houses, not communities, but new build houses. But they have this really nice new build house, and then they have this really bad community. Not really bad community, but just a very sketchy area. So one thing I can say about Dallas is that they do have some really rich parts in Dallas, right? Some really nice communities, but you definitely have to pay for those. So they have Highland Park, University Park. Those are where the $1 million homes are going to be, and that is where the true living is going to be. They also have Uptown. That is a really cool area where it's kind of separated from that true rundown feel that you get in Dallas. So there's definitely many benefits of living in Dallas and Fort Worth. It just depends on what you are prepared to deal with when moving to Dallas. Fort Worth can be very convenient. Depending on what side of Fort Worth, you can be literally near almost all the suburbs and 30 minutes away from Dallas. A lot of people like moving to Dallas because it is very convenient. It's the hub. So it's ultimately your decision when moving to Dallas. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, please feel free to drop a comment below. Me and my team would love to help. You relocate to the area, and check out one of these videos above to see exactly what it's like living in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex to help you make that smooth move when moving here.